It's time for Bravo with Sheila, a place to be enlightened, a place to be built up, and always a place to remember that when nothing changes, nothing changes. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Welcome to another Bravo with Sheila night. It is Friday night. It is a different night. Nevertheless, it's a Bravo night. So take that right hand, and touch yourself and give yourself a Bravo just because. And you do not need permission. Listen, I'm so glad that all of you are here. I am ecstatic tonight again because I got Karen in the house. Karen's in the house all the way from Ghana. We became like this. The first time we spoke, it just happened. It just happened. And I'm so excited about tonight. This is a special broadcast that we're doing on Friday night because I have to go away tomorrow and I had to not cancel this. I could not because she gave so much information the last time she was on. She's going to be a regular. We're going to scatter her out a little bit and just love on her and beg her to come back, at least once a month or bi-weekly or something. She's so informative. And I think that it's going to be an incredible night tonight. Listen, we're here to enrich your life. We're here to build you up, to move you from pain to power and from power to victory, because we understand and know that when nothing changes, nothing changes. So what do you have to do? I heard you. Keep it moving. You have to keep it moving despite whatever touches you, tries to block and stop you. We have to crawl. We have to move. We have to always move, make a move to get to that place called there. You're moving to a place called there. And so tonight, I'm telling you, this is going to be so awesome because her and I were talking backstage, and I'm just going to kind of just set the tone off and on, but I really want Karen to share about her life, about what's going on in Ghana, how she adjusted, what it was like to adjust leaving the US, because we know what the US is like, right? You got to have some type of calm inside of you to move to a whole place across the world, different lifestyle, but peace, be still. And so we have her tonight here, and I'm just happy that she agreed to come back tonight. And I'm going to bring her up right now so we can jump into our chat. But if you have not hit that like button, please hit that thumbs up button, because what you don't know that we creators, she's a content creator as well in the YouTube streets, that thumbs up, when you hit that button, it kind of pushes, the algorithm pushes it to other places, and we want it information to be pushed out. We want it to be pushed out. And if you have not subscribed, we are pressing our way to 500. Go ahead and subscribe. We're trying to get to 500. We're almost there. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You can also subscribe to my ministry channel, Sheila Ingram Ministry, broadcast over there, Sheila Ingram Network. You can pop over there and subscribe and hit the thumbs up button over there as well. Let me bring my beautiful sister up to the platform, and there she is. Hello, my sweet sister. How
Hey,
are you?
hello. I'm wonderful. How about you?
I'm
Thank
good. I'm
you.
good tonight. I'm just glad that we connected and reconnected again. And I know I saw some really good things up on in the YouTube streets on your channel where you had your family over, your
Yes.
girls. You guys
Yes.
were shooting pool. You guys was in the town. I'm telling you, you were in the town. You got a little lost. I chuckled at that for a moment when
Oh,
your daughter was driving. I thought that was so cute.
it was funny afterwards, but I tell you, in the moment, it was stressful. I mean, you see all the people in the street, they just walk,
Oh,
they don't stop for the cars or anything. It's
yes, absolutely. I saw the traffic. I remember being in Ghana, and it was a culture shock for me, just thinking that people were going to get hit. People were
yeah.
selling their items, but people don't get hit. The cars don't hit. The people know how to move, and it was just so congested. And your daughter was doing good. You said, you're doing good. Make a left, make a right.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. So
Looking at it now.
I go to your channel and I look at some of your content, and it's always so good. We got my ride or die in the chat, and she says, "Hey, Karen," and Nia is there. She's actually in the car driving her son from work, so she can't
Oh,
be in the chat like she
okay.
usually is, but I'm sure she'll get to it. No, we want her to continue to drive and pay attention to the
Yes,
road.
please.
Yes, welcome back, Karen. I'm so glad
Thank
that
you.
you are here. I really am. And I wanted to really continue our conversation and just really wanted to bring you back for you to talk about what you want to share. We did talk about a lot of things, but we skipped around. We were so
Mhm.
anxious and so excited. But tonight, I really want you to jump into the business, how you started the business. I want to see how you can share with people the opportunities. So I'm gonna let you speak for out the cup of your little heart and your life, and then we'll interject as you continue. We welcome everyone here that's up in the bleachers, the balcony, or maybe you have an expensive seat and you're in the orchestra. We welcome you up there. Those that are not in the chat, please hit that thumbs up. Those of you in the chat, welcome. Karen, go for it. Just share. Just begin to share what it was like and how you got to where you are in Ghana.
Okay, so thank you so much again, Sheila, for having me on. And I just can't help it. I mean, I'm just cheesing because every time I see you, we just connect and we're laughing already before we
Yes.
became live. But I did want to talk a little bit about opportunities that are here in Ghana,
Mhm.
because there are limitless opportunities here. And I know a lot of times when people are thinking about coming, they're wondering if, how will they take care of themselves? How will they be able to sustain
Yes.
while they're here? And some people have not been able to, but many, many people have. So I would say that, if you are considering moving to Ghana, you want to do some research and find out, what type of opportunities are available. I know when I first started thinking about coming, the first thought came into my mind was I'll get a job,
Mhm.
if I needed to, right? Because I was retiring, but I could always get a job. But I want you guys not to think about getting a job, but creating jobs,
Mm.
by becoming and being an entrepreneur, coming over with the mindset of I'm going to start something, I'm going to create something and do something. I mean, to be honest, I'll back up a little bit and say when I first moved here, my plan was not to necessarily have be a director in a construction and management company. That was the furthest thing from my mind. My plan was to come to Ghana and, I was retired. And so I was going to, probably work with the kids and, at the schools and maybe do some other kind of work with the young people, just
Yeah.
trying to, like more like ministry, just kind of getting out there and assimilating myself. But the Most High had other plans for me, obviously. So, just to say a little bit about some of the opportunities before I tell my own story. So, when you get to Ghana, as you probably would in other countries or even in the US, you can look around and see where is there an opportunity,
Mm.
but like I said, in Ghana, there are many. When you think about stores or, different type of stores like a grocery store or a hardware store or uh, a movie theater, right? I mean,
Mm.
there, I don't see movie theaters here,
Really?
so that's No, my grandsons love to skateboard. They love skateboarding. But I don't think, and maybe it is, but we haven't found any skateboarding parks in Cape Coast. So, so all those things, sometimes just think about things like that.
Wow.
It's not hard to start something like that. The land is plentiful. It's easy to get to. There's lots of places where you can rent. You could just start something. And so I just want to encourage folks to just kind of come like with your entrepreneurial spirit, right? I want to come and fulfill a dream or a passion that I had, when I was a kid or something, maybe to be an artist or to to create clothes. There's so many beautiful, talented seamstresses and tailors here. If you have designs of clothes, you could easily start your own clothing line and just post it out on, social media and just see where it goes. So just all kinds of ideas.
Wow.
So for me, I was just planning, like I said, to kind of take it easy, but I had an opportunity to work with the guy who painted my house, Emmanuel, and he came to me and said that he had an opportunity to get land, and he wanted to ask if I wanted to partner with him to create this business and build, homes for people. And
Mhm.
so, my first thought was, well, I can probably source the people for you,
Mhm.
and and you could just like give me a little something for that or whatever. And he was like, no, I think it would be better, that we come in together as business partners and do this, because he saw the vision. I mean, be honest, I didn't see it, but he always had a vision to have a real estate company or to build homes and
Yeah.
eventually build homes and sell them. But so that was the vision he had, and then as he shared it with me and we talked about more about it, and I prayed about it, and I just really felt that this was the right way to go. And then it confirmed almost like 2 days later or something. I got a call from a good friend of mine who said, I have these ladies who want to talk to you about Ghana, moving to Ghana. And so I said, okay, sure, I'll talk to them. So we did a conference call and they wanted to come, and they were looking for land. And I just said, you know what, I just was talking. I'm just happened to have access to some land. And they're like, well, we want to come and see it. And so they came like the next week or two. It was very, very quick. It was happening so fast. That's how the Most High works sometime, right? And so you just like
Yes.
go on and go for the ride along with him. And
Yes.
and they came to the land and they fell in love with it. It was just bush everywhere. And it was orange trees, lemon trees, it was cassava. It was just like everything you could possibly think of was on this land. It was
Just sitting there. Just
so
sitting
lucky,
there.
just sitting there. Yes, just sitting there. And so after that, we walked around the land for a while, and they were like, this is it for us. We want to get land. And so I was like, really? So I was like, okay, let's pray. So we just stood there and held hands, and we all prayed together, like, Father, if this is your desire and your will. And
Yes.
that was the beginning of it. That was the beginning of it. And
Amen.
from there they purchased land, and then next thing I know, here somebody else was coming, and now we have our first two phases of plots are already sold out, except for just a couple left. I think we have like three left in phase two, and we're getting ready to open up another whole phase. So
Wow.
when Emmanuel came to me and asked about doing this, and he said, what target market do you think that we should go after first? And I immediately came out Hebrew Israelites.
Mhm.
And I knew when I said it that was what I was supposed to do. And so that's how I just we decided to set aside a certain number of plots that would be for Hebrew Israelites. So because I knew of some people who were coming, and I knew that others would come, and we just wanted to have a place where we could worship together, have our feast day celebrations together, and in an environment where we are growing together. And then we also have the diasporan community as well. So, we're not trying to exclude anybody, but we just that was just the first phase of
Of the
our community.
vision and what was
Yeah,
being said at that time. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. So we just said, okay, this is the way it's going to be. And we already have, like I said, the first two phases are pretty much all sold with Hebrew Israelites, and they're coming and they're excited. And then we also have diasporans who are saying, well, as soon as you open up the other part, we want to become a part of it. So let me back up a little bit to say that once the two ladies, and I say Dr. and her mother, Miss Trish,
Mhm.
once they decided that they wanted to come, they were supposed to come, months later. And so they talked about they wanted to build a small home, and they would live in that home together until so that they could get here, right? And
Right.
then once they were here, then they were going to build their own two separate homes on the property. And so then they called us back, I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks later and said, oh, plans have changed. The Most High is saying he wants us to come in June. So this was February, into February, March, or somewhere around in there. So we only had 2 months
To prepare.
to build this house. 2 months. And so they were talking to Emmanuel, and they were saying, do you think that you, and he's like, oh yeah, we can do it. We can do it. And I'm looking at him like, build a house in 2 months. Right? I know nothing about it. So I couldn't say, oh no, we can't, but it just sounded
Right.
so far-fetched to me. But with the Most High, when he's in something, it works. And
Absolutely.
so, if you go to Karen and Ghana, you'll see our whole process of where we started from scratch, and we built that house in 2 months and 10 days, and furnished it as well. So when they
Amazing.
moved in, everything was there. And we've had a few little bumps here, and since they've moved in, just small things that happen anywhere at any time. So
Right, which
nothing
is
major.
expected. Yeah.
Yes, yes, but they were in, and
Amazing.
yes.
And that beautiful house that you're sitting in, you built that as well.
Yes, this is my home. Now, we didn't build this home, but this is
But
my home. I
right,
had
right.
built at the Pan African Village. This
Yes.
home was built by people might know him on YouTube as a traveling Israelite,
Okay.
Mikiel, and he built this house for me when I started out in the States, and when I came over to visit in 2021, and I knew by the time I left that I was going to live here, and so
Yeah.
I worked with him to start to build my house. And so I'm living in the house that I had built. This is a 4 bedroom, 4.5 bathroom
Oh,
house, and so part of it I use as Airbnb from time to time. And then,
which
but
I
right
will
now I have
send
two of
you
my
an
grandsons here with me.
Mhm. One of those rooms
Hmm.
of mine when I get there. Mhm.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a room for you when you get here.
Yes, yes.
And so that's what I've been doing. I just had someone here earlier. What's the day? Friday, earlier this week. And so they called me. I wasn't even home, and one of the person who brought them here to look around, and he said, "Well, I know that you said that sometimes you have the Airbnb, but I know you have your grandsons." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I just have the one room, but I have an interview tomorrow, so I really am not going to be able to do it." And so he said, okay. And then they called back and they were like, please, can we just stay? We'll get out by 8 o'clock in the morning. We just want to be able to stay. And so I allowed them to stay. And it was so, so
Nice.
nice.
So nice.
Yeah.
Let's
And
look
the
at the
thing for
summer.
her,
No, go ahead. Go.
I was going to say, and the thing for her that sold her why she really wanted to stay was because I have water heaters in my showers.
Oh,
And a lot of the places don't, so
that
you
would
can't.
make a difference. That would see,
Yes,
that's what we
yes,
talked about, even the luxuries of what we are
yes,
used to in the US, that
yes,
you don't necessarily have to compromise them, but you might have to make sure that you add that on to what's important to you. Let's look
yes.
at some of the comments and see what people are
Oh,
saying
okay.
to us. My cousin Janice Walls is saying, I love this and I'm willing and want to go.
Oh, come
Mhm.
on, Janice.
Yes. And we got Laquita, a superfood parent. She is one who she's a chef and she's
Okay.
about eating well for your family, your children, and your family as a whole. to teach
Uh-huh.
them how to eat properly. So she has a channel on YouTube that comes on Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays at I think 11:45, if I'm not mistaken. But
Okay.
Laquita, she said, glad to be in Ghana again. Okay. And then we have Marcia Harris. I'm excited.
Marsha.
I'm moving. Marsha.
Yes. Yes,
Marsha.
Marsha. I just been talking to her about getting some land and coming to Ghana. Yes. Hey,
Oh,
Marsha.
that's awesome. That's awesome. And my cousin Janice is saying, I just love it. I just love it. And they're greeting each other and saying, Superfood is making a comment saying, hey there, Enenia, home building in another country is an amazing achievement. Wow. I agree. I agree. I agree. And then you got people stirred up, Karen. I will be talking to you soon, she says.
Oh, okay. That's great. That's great.
Yeah. And Laquita is saying it's funny how heated showers are a deal breaker for some folks.
That was so funny to me when she was like, that is the thing that got me. And I was like, please go call her back and beg her to let me stay.
Yeah, see, and we were saying about the differences of how I was saying how leaving the US, knowing that you have to make an adjustment until you
Yes,
get it just the way, because the things that you need you can always put in your dwelling, right?
yes,
Like the
you really
heated
can.
shower.
Yeah.
But on a whole, everyone doesn't have a heated shower, right? I guess it would be costly for some people to have that.
Yes, yes, it would. And then because it's so hot and humid all the time, people enjoy coming in and taking a cool shower.
True.
So I didn't have the water heater right away. I had a solar water heater that was supposed to heat up the water for the bathrooms. So my bathroom is closer to where the solar water heater is. And so my shower would be almost room temperature.
Yeah.
But the other rooms that are across, they were not getting that heat at all.
Hmm.
And so over time, I was like, okay, why am I doing this? Like
Yeah.
jumping under it, like, oh, you're trying to make it work, right? And so I just made the investment and did it. So,
Yeah.
but little did I know, this is one of the things that happens sometimes, that the house had not been wired for that much more power.
Oh.
And yes, and so right,
Again, another thing we're used to in the
yeah,
US. We
got to
don't
think about
go
it.
ahead.
Yeah, because there's so much that's not up to the code or standards of the United States or the West, right? So because Ghana has only been around, what I think 60, 70 years, not a very long time. And been not been colonialized, right?
Mhm.
So they're really behind the times. And so people have to understand that, because if they expect everything to be like in the States or in the West, they're going to be disappointed. So you have to think that, to go back like 40, 50 years, and how were things at that time.
Mhm.
And if you don't know because you're not old enough, then maybe you want to just kind of search it out and just see. Because the internet is not bad, because you can see, here I am talking to you,
Right,
so I have Wi-Fi.
right.
But the roads, the infrastructure is not there.
Yeah, and I know that they were saying they were getting money to work on the infrastructure of Ghana with
Yes.
the roads, because as you say that, I'm having a vision of, I did my DNA, right? So doing my DNA, I found out a lot of things about my bloodline and roots and everything. And one of the strong factors that is in my DNA, a big percentage, is the Ivory Coast. And so
Oh, okay.
I looked at a video on YouTube on how the Ivory Coast is so built up with highways and roads and
Yes.
I mean
Yes.
very modern, the
Beautiful.
built
Mhm.
beautiful, beautiful place. And I was thinking, and the brother that was doing the tour, as a matter of fact, I forgot his channel name, but he was sharing, how he goes to all the different countries in Africa and when I saw Ivory Coast, I was like, whoa, this place
Mhm.
here is so like up to date. I'm talking about major
Yes.
highways and byways
Yes.
and everything going on. And then my mind came on Ghana saying that, something I guess eventually will be done with the money that comes into that country and let it be
Yeah,
used for what it's supposed to be used
that's
for.
right. That's right. Yeah, there's talk of, people not doing the right thing with the money, and not utilizing it the way it's supposed to be done. So, um, I don't know a lot about the politics here, so I can't really speak on it except to
Right.
say that, I know that there's a lot of work that needs to be done with the roads.
Mhm.
Now, there are different parts of Ghana, like in Kumasi, East Lagoon, some of these areas, and even Accra. The roads
Mhm.
are fine. The roads are
Yeah.
great in some areas, right?
Mhm.
But where we are in Cape Coast, it's not very developed here. Um,
But
it
that's a good
starts
thing.
growing. Yes, it is, because you're getting in on the ground floor.
There you
And
go.
that's the important thing. I remember in 2021 when we came for a tour, and Ronald Dalton, the author of the Hebrews to Negroes book, he was on the tour with us. And I remember him saying, that Cape Coast was, so, it was just ripe for the pickings, so to speak, right? Because there was not much development here at all. And just in the short time I've been here, I see so much development, and
Yeah,
plans for them to have an airport, and they're going to have like a equivalent to Hollywood built here in this Sabo area, and all kinds of things are coming.
absolutely.
So this is a good time for people who have a business mindset,
Right.
and if they, want to think about how to get in on the floor, especially like for land and things like that, because it's going to increase, and it'll be a good investment for people to think about doing it now.
Absolutely. As you were speaking, I was thinking of that, that it's always good when we get an opportunity to come in when it's fresh, when it's new. But sometimes if you're not a visionary and you can't see, then you'd be like, oh
Yeah.
no, I'm
Right.
not, no, no. And
Right.
then if you're not a visionary and you can't see it before you can see it, for lack of a better term, then that means you
Right.
miss out on a lot in life, period, when everything has to kind of be in your face, when you don't have faith to believe what's coming. Just like how you
Right.
just shared, like you were open to go. And when you got there, look how you didn't bump into the whole construction business. It was divine and it was designed. It's just your orders, your steps were ordered that way. And
Yeah.
then the
Yeah.
gentleman that you're partners with, he was strategically placed and he was like, no, no, just give me a couple of dollars. He said, nope,
Right.
you are a part of this vision. You are, because he saw your worth, right? When you see someone's
Hmm.
worth,
Yeah.
right, you realize that, again, it may not be at that moment what we see, but the worth in a person. That's why a lot of times we misjudge people by what
Yeah.
we see instead of seeing what's in them, right? And so
That's
now
true.
you have now been a catalyst for people to come. You've learned so much, and now you have people, you're selling this, you're doing this. Look, we're gonna have to hold a little corner for me. Wait a minute now. We have to hold a little corner for me so I can leave it to my grandkids and just leave them
Yeah.
that legacy. You know what I mean? And so, with you going there, I know you're saying that to be a visionary, not even a visionary, just business minded,
Yeah.
entrepreneurship. Sometimes people think because they don't have this major vision that they can't be an entrepreneur, but you could have one
Yeah.
thought can turn into
That's right.
that thing that you're supposed to be doing. So
Yeah.
what have you seen a lot of people from the US do in terms of growth and growing as they move to Ghana? And before you answer that, we got some people in the chat that is talking to you. So
Okay.
let's take a pause for the cause and say, Jesse with, uh, hey, everyone. Hi, mommy. She's back.
Hi, baby.
She's back. Your baby girl is back. We already saw was that Marsha? We saw her, and we
Yes.
have my cousin said, I'm ready to come home. Von Eric
Yes.
in the house. Von Eric, thank you for being here. Emmanuel Okim
Ochim.
Ochim.
That's
See, to learn how
that's
to,
my business partner.
that's him. He was on before, right?
Yes.
When we were on.
Yes.
Hello, hello. Trust me, I'll just say Emmanuel. I'll stay better with that. I won't mess your name up. So my cousin Janice says, I have been praying about this. Look at God. I got my answers. Thank you, Lord.
Oh.
Look at that. I told you this is
Yeah.
strategic. This is a strategic moment when Karen takes the floor. It's strategic.
Oh.
She has information. We have people up in the bleachers, up there in the balcony, and they're listening to you. Some of them just don't want to chat, and that's fine. So let's keep talking. Let's keep talking. Share some more. Wait, you have to just insert this little thing about the left hand because maybe I'm just not smart. Maybe I'm just not smart about certain things.
My
But while
connection
we,
is not that good.
that's okay. You're back. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hold on, guys.
I'm having connection issues.
That's okay. I see you. I hear. Can you hear me now? It's okay. Can you see me?
No.
You don't see me?
Oh my goodness. And guys,
You want to go out and come back in?
yeah, let me do that because there's also a big wasp in my house right now, and I don't like bugs. So it might take me a minute to come
Listen, I'm with you with that one. Go take care of that one
back.
and sign right back on, okay? Listen, that's another thing. You're gonna have to have a bug-proof house. Bug-proof. A bug-proof house. Let me see. Someone is sending me. Oh, she was letting me know a private message. So, guys, this is awesome. This conversation is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Superfood parent, let's see what we have, what you're saying here. Ghana isn't behind the times as much as they are in a different space. Like they're ahead in love and consideration, compassion too. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Then Laquita is saying, get the wasp, save yourself. Yes, get it and save yourself. So, listen, this conversation is absolutely wonderful. I love when I have a chat and when I chat with Karen and her teaching and sharing about the opportunities in Ghana and how we can merge over there as entrepreneurs, as leaving legacy by buying land, right? Which right now, and we'll talk to her when she gets back about some of the rates and prices that is going on in Ghana to purchase land in certain surrounding areas as well. Let's see, her daughter. I became so brave while I was there. Listen, I know you were. I know you became brave because there's so many things that you weren't used to, but then I guess you adjusted to it because the benefit when you weigh it, the benefit was good. And let's see what my cousin Janice is saying. They are want us to come home. Yeah, a lot of people are saying come back home. I know I don't know what part of Africa. I don't know if it's Kenya. Somewhere the president was allowing if you had a certain amount of DNA blood, Kenyan blood within you. I don't know what country. I think it was Kenya. I'm not sure where the president was saying in your DNA, if you had a certain percentage of blood DNA, that you could come back free or something or be a citizen, have citizenship. I don't know if that was Kenya. Do you know about that, Karen?
Yeah, I think it was Kenya. I think he was saying you can come without a visa.
Without a visa.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because a lot of the countries in Africa, you have to get a visa to come, just like in Ghana. So they say,
Correct.
welcome home. They had the year return in 2019, come on home. But then when we come home, we're not viewed as citizens until after 10 years. So they're
Oh,
really working on that. Some of the people have gotten their citizenship. Quite a few,
okay.
some thousands, a few thousand, I think, have gotten it. I'm on a list, but I haven't been selected just yet. But
Well,
I
it's
want.
going to be bumped up. The way things are happening for you, listen, somebody's working behind the scenes for you and bumping you up.
That's
So
right. That's right.
you're just not no ordinary, you're the apple of his eye. So he's going to
Oh,
do some magic,
thank you.
not magic, but just push you up, right? So
Yeah,
listen, here was something we were talking about a little bit before you went to kill that wasp before it got you.
and I got him. I got him.
I know you did. And your daughter was saying that she said she became so brave while she was there with you. And I'm sure. But like you said, I asked you about that before because I'm real creepy when it comes to bugs and stuff. I
Yeah.
get the willies, right? And you shared with me, like it really isn't like a major, major thing in your
No,
house,
no.
You
Mm-mm.
can bug proof any place, right? You can bug
Yes.
proof any place. Now, I
Yes.
can tell you that when I was little, and even up until where I am now, the mosquitoes love me. So my
Oh,
mother used to tell me that I have sweet blood, and that's why they
there
love
you go.
me. And wherever I go, in whatever country I go in, listen, it's a mess. It's a mess. And so I was told to load up on vitamin B. When you load up on vitamin B in your blood, they
Mm-hmm.
don't attract to you as they normally would. And I did that on the last trip when I went to Curacao, and it kind of worked. I didn't come back all bit up. It was a good
Okay.
thing. Yeah, so we have to learn how to do these things because, when you have sweet blood, the mosquitoes like you. Not only that,
Absolutely.
when you step off the plane in these countries, they know that you don't belong there because most of the people that live there never get bit. They know that
Right.
they don't get bit like that. But when you come from the US or another country, they like, yes, let's get them. They get to the
Fresh
airport and they
blood. Yes.
fresh blood, Karen. Fresh blood, fresh blood. So here's something that I'd like to ask you about as you were speaking about building and land and what the opportunity is. So I know you mentioned to me before that people think that you need so much money to start. Now, is it a way where, say, someone in the US wanted to start doing something, but they don't have a lump sum of money and they start slowly sending money. It's almost like a layaway plan, right?
Yeah.
Are there
Yeah.
situations where people just have to straight out come with thousands, or are there ways where people can come and work their way towards owning the land, as well as tell us what it does cost to actually buy just an acre or two, or however?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we sell them by plots,
Uh-huh.
and we will work with people to get a plot,
Okay.
right, or two or three, right. But we prefer it if certainly because a plot is 2,000
Oh, that's
U.S.
not bad.
dollars right now, and
That's
that's a
not
plot
bad.
is about a plot is about a quarter of an acre.
Okay.
Okay, so four plots, of course, would be your acres, so that'd be about 8 grand.
Okay.
And along with that, for us, it's not, I'm only speaking for Africa Bob. Along with that, for us, would be your clearing of the land, site plan, your indenture, which is your sort of like what we would call our deed,
Mhm.
that would be signed by the court and everything, making it known that it's yours. The site plan and the title search
Mhm.
would prove that the land is not owned by someone else.
Correct.
So you get that, and then some other things that we would we kind of throw in. We would help you like with your Ghana card, your residency, bank accounts, all those kind of things too. We will help you to get, so you don't feel like you're just on your own and just kind of thrown out there when you get here.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
That's
So
that's
with
what
the
we do.
acre,
And if
go ahead.
someone says someone wants to get, like an acre or something like that, then we'll talk to them about, and they say, well, I might just want to send half of it now or something like that. So we're flexible because
Okay.
we want people to be able to come, and everybody might not have it right away.
Right.
However, we do have the expectation of that. And then also for our land, we have purchased, I mean, we have cleared the roads. So, you hear, I talked a lot about that last time about in Ghana, how the roads are so can be really hard to drive on, and there are a lot of issues with the road. So, what we decided to do for the village that where we are, we decided that we were going to have the road cleared and then smoothed out so that the people that are coming to live there will have nice roads.
Yeah.
Um, that was one of the things that I felt, that being here in the Pan African Village and seeing it in other places, that for us to ask people to come and purchase, we felt that that was really almost like a requirement. It just makes sense to make sure that these people have good roads, because that's what we're used to, right? And
Right.
not to say that everywhere, like you can go in the country roads in the States and
Right.
they could be like
True.
that. But going to your home, you
Right.
don't have to be that way. So
I
that's one of
saw
the
it. You have it on
what
your YouTube channel how you cleared the road. You were showing your
yeah,
family when you
that's
guys were
right.
walking up that road, and it's very
Yes.
clear. And you were sharing with them how you guys took the liberty to clear the road. And I was like, wow, this is so awesome. You know,
Right.
look what the Lord done
I
sent you
think
and
my
God
I'm gonna
done.
have to plug my
Okay.
I'm gonna have to turn on my for my
Okay.
I thought my thing was plugged in, but
It's
it's not.
okay. While you do that,
My
let's see.
my laptop. There we go. I
Here's
just
the
saw it getting
question.
dark. And
I've done
all
that.
right,
Let me
I'm
make
good.
sure I'm good, Karen. I'm talking about you because I've done that many times.
It sounds seems like you're on mute. I don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you now.
You went through something. I went through something. So here's the question. Do you have to be a citizen in order to own land?
No, you don't. But let me just back up to say that in Ghana, as in many states, I mean countries in on the continent, you don't own technically truly own land. You lease the land for long term because I mean somebody put it to me this way that they believe that only the Most High owns the land, right? So um, you can lease it if you're a citizen. You lease for 99 years with the option to renew. If you're a non-citizen, 55. And so some people are giving more than 55 for non-citizens, but after we spoke to an attorney, that's what they told us. So we're just being on the safe side for our people. But 55 years with option to renew,
So that
and that's pretty much all across Ghana.
okay, that's good to know. So that means someone comes, they lease the land, they build on the land, they pass away, and they leave the paperwork and the legacy to their children. Their
Yes,
children would be the one that would renew the land, renew
yes.
the paperwork. Would there be any issues with them being blocked with that? I mean, is there any security?
No, I think with the indenture, it's spelled out pretty clear.
Okay.
And what we say is that there would not be the you are on the land, right? So once you build your property on the land, I think there's also like another law or something where if once you get a structure halfway up, then you are on it and nobody can make you get off of it.
Okay.
So there's some things around that, but it's 55 years for non-citizens. Now, what I don't know is what happens once you get your citizenship. Does it change over to 99, or can you have your indenture changed to 99 years at that time?
Okay.
I'll have to find that out. I don't know. I just thought about that as I was saying it, but
Yeah. Yeah. That's good to know, right? So my cousin
yeah.
Janice says, so I need a Jeep, huh? She says, so she needs a Jeep. She needs a
You're
Jeep,
gonna need a truck.
a truck. You're gonna
Oh
need
man, I mean my Jeep, the Jeep that I purchased, if is a 2009, so it's not a new Jeep. So I just have to say that I've been having some issues with it only because so much of the pieces on it or the components on it are still original. And
uh
so riding on these roads here in Ghana, it's saying to the Jeep, it's time for you to maybe replace some of this original thing
original.
from the Jeep. Yeah, yeah, and get something a little bit stronger.
I
But
get
but it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it handles the road, but the roads in Ghana are tough.
yeah, they're tough, but things are changing again,
Yeah,
things,
yes, they are.
things are changing. And I didn't know, like I said, until I saw that clip on the Ivory Coast, that it looks like a little mini city. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even look like Africa. It's so
Yeah.
built up. So much money has been placed into that part
Mm-hmm.
of Africa. And so there are different places and different things are going on. Things are changing, things are growing. And like you said, getting in on the ground floor is a smart thing. And see, when you're a visionary, you can see beyond the bush, right? You can see beyond.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
And
can
so a lot
see.
of people come and they want to stay in Accra or they want to go to, Kumasi or places where it's more built up. Because like I said, you got your streets, you got your shops, you got your malls, you got, all of that, the nightclubs, the museums, I mean, pretty much everything that you would be used to in the States. So for
Right.
those people who want that, it's available to them.
And who's
In
still attached to it. Yeah. They
Yes,
can live
yes.
somewhere, but then they can, because where you are living, where you're speaking about now, how far is that from Accra? That is what, 2 hours away?
2+ hours, and with traffic, it's going to be more like three.
3 hours. Okay. So
Hmm.
it's a little
Yeah,
hike. So
because there's a lot of traffic in Accra too. It sort of reminds me of New York City. I mean, it's just traffic. It's Accra is a built up city.
yeah, I've been there. So it is.
Really nice. Hmm.
It is. I was amazed when I went, and I couldn't even see almost any of it. It was so big that it
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
lot that I didn't see, and I was there for, I think, maybe 14 days or something like that, and I
Yeah.
saw a lot, but not I was so much I didn't see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what about this myth about animals? So there's a lot of bush. There's a lot of bush around, right, still, and are
Yep.
there animals in those bushes?
No more than like in the States, you might see what we called possums.
Okay.
You're not seeing lions, tigers, and bears. You're not seeing those. You
Right,
know,
right.
I know my mom when I was said I was coming, and she was like, "Well, you be careful of those lions over there." It's no lions. I mean, there may be in some parts of Ghana, but not where I
Right.
know. The thing that that you would think about here is just like again, any place where there's a lot of greenery and um, bush is snakes, um, like possums, or where we would say like squirrels, just things like that.
Right, right.
That we have chickens, we have goats, that just walk down the road. That now why did the chicken cross the road is a reality to me now. To
Yeah.
get out of the way of them Ghana cars.
Exactly. That is so funny,
But
right?
it's free range here. So you have cows just kind of walking around. You just might end up seeing a herd of cows, or the cutest little goats running around all the time. And
Yeah.
in the area where we are again, because this area is still a lot of villages around. and
So
and
what
I love it. I love the mixture of it.
I see you love it. I see, you the way you speak about it. What about the like supermarkets, like an American food and items? Because I know, Ghana, they cook their meal, they cook with flavor and herbs. And when
Yes.
because I'm such a picky eater, and when we used to sit down for dinner every night, and I would see them put things on the table, and of course my etiquette would not let me even show my facial expression or anything. And I would be like, okay, am I going to be rude and not taste it? Because, they want you, the culture is like, it's
Yes.
rude to
Yes.
not taste the food and dine with them. I was like, oh, I am the worst one
Yes.
at this table. And so I had to humble myself. And there was some things that I tasted that I liked, that I
Yes.
really, really liked, the rice, and I
Mhm.
forgot the name of this dish. Oh, it was so, so good. I mean, I don't eat meat, right? I don't eat any animals.
Uh-huh.
So they respected that, right? But I
Okay.
do eat
Okay.
fish, right? So they were like, oh, we made some fish for you. I said, could you take the head off? Like,
No, no. They
please.
said the head is the best part. I,
That's
I
what,
haven't gotten there yet.
that's what
I
they
didn't have to take it off, but
I
yeah, I
like,
haven't.
no, 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 no. Even here in the US, people will not go in a Jamaican restaurant or wherever and they be like, what? You don't want, no. Well, we got some soup with the head. No, thank
No,
you. No. So I am not past that yet. But what
Yeah,
about the American items inside of the supermarket? Say culturally, because we can't abandon our total culture and what we
right.
were raised in. And there are certain things that you will crave, right? And you will want. So I didn't really go into a supermarket. I went to markets, African markets. So
Okay.
I didn't see like a major supermarket. Are there supermarkets where you can go in and they have products that we have here in the US?
Yes, there's some their stores are Malcolm and ShopRite. They have a ShopRite here.
Upright. Okay.
Yes, yes. So you can go to ShopRite. It's in Takoradi. It's not one in Cape Coast yet, but their Malcolm is the main grocery store here. But then there are other small, just like you had your mom and pop shops,
Yeah.
up and down the street in the
Yeah.
States. So then there are lots of those, and they will have American products in there. Not everything, but you might be walking around and you say, "Oh, there's some Oreo cookies," certain kind of like they may have the Bounty paper towels.
Oh,
So certain things that like we kind of like. It's like, well, I really am picky on my paper towels, right? So you can get some of those things. You just kind of have to
exactly.
scout out, find the places that will sell those
Or
things.
have them shipped to you.
Yeah, you can do that too. You can do that too. That can be expensive, but you can do
You can
it.
have people shopping for you in the US and sending your care package every month.
Yes, my sister will be here next week, and she's bringing a whole suitcase full of stuff for me.
I'm sure she is. What about Amazon? Amazon seems to be everywhere. Do you get Amazon deliveries? No,
No, Amazon does not deliver. My understanding is Amazon does not deliver to the continent at all,
I thought so.
and
Yeah,
that to me is very unfortunate. But
it is. It really
uh,
is.
but I did recently hear from a young man who said that there's a upcoming Amazon type service
Okay.
for the continent. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I could probably try to find out a little more about it. Where you can order some things like Amazon, and it comes to a certain warehouse here in Cape Coast,
Okay, good.
and then you can go pick it up there.
We got
Hmm.
some folks chatting with you. Let's see. Um oh, your daughter put this. She said, "Mommy, you know you be whipping it." She talking about
Oh,
you driving. Talking about you driving, right?
I guess so. Unless you're talking about that mosquito, I mean, not the
And
mosquito, but
the wasp.
that wasp I killed.
And she says, "Do you recommend shipping a car? Okay, from the
Mm.
States or buying one there?" That's a good question.
That is a good question. So it depends on how old the car is.
Okay.
They try to discourage older cars from coming over.
Really?
Yes, because I guess they don't want, a clunker coming over and then it breaks down or whatever. I'm assuming that's the rationale. They want newer cars. So the newer the car is, the less tax you pay on it, or um,
Okay.
tariff or excise tax or whatever they call it, e-levy. Um, But if you have an older car, you're going to pay more. And there is the actual grid out um, on Google. You can find it, that shows you how much you have to pay for the car based on the year and type and things like that. So I had a 2006 Mercedes SUV, right?
Mhm.
And it would have cost me more than what I paid for it originally
Oh,
to bring it over. So,
you
you
gotta
know,
wait.
I left it. I gave,
Uh,
here, daughter, you can have this
I'm,
car.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Because
Janice,
that just
go
didn't make
ahead.
sense.
Janice, your grandson just came out and ran back. You saw him? It was one of those whoops moments. That's all
Yeah,
right. Tell him it's
group.
all right. He said, "Ooh," did a Michael Jackson back up. You saw him?
Right.
How stable is the government? And I'm going to let you go because it's late there. We have a couple of more questions and I'm going to let you go,
Okay.
Karen. How
All right.
stable is the government in Ghana is the question.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's pretty stable. I mean, we haven't had any, it's not, a lot of these countries you're hearing about coups and everything like
Yeah.
that. There's no rumblings of that. There's not a whole lot of, like protests and people taken to the streets and things like that. So I feel pretty safe right now. I think things are pretty sound right now.
That's good. These lights, these lights. We all gonna go because I got lights everywhere on me, and they even got the air on me, and it's still causing me to sweat a lot. Okay, suitable parents. The roads are like some of our rural
Yeah,
roads here in the States, correct?
that.
Most of America is still the bush. Just drive
Mhm.
20 minutes outside of any city. That is so true. That
It
is so
is. It
true.
is true. And so that's what I try to get people to think about, because when you come here, you got to realize you're coming to an area that has not yet been developed. I mean,
Right,
they're just starting to develop it. And so it's just like that. When you first start building, you'll see one house built, then they're going to build a subdivision. The
right,
difference that they do in the States is that they make sure they put in the roads first.
right.
And so you don't have that. But if you just think about that, if they just plopped a house there and then they were going to do the roads later, then
Yeah.
it would be rough.
Yeah, that's true. It's like any place you move to and it's starting new, a certain part area, and one
Yeah.
house is there. And then you see they building another house and it develops. So it's
Right.
the same
Right.
thing. And okay, what area? Janice is saying what area, I guess the name of the place where
What
you
area
live.
am I in? I'm
Hmm.
in Cape Coast, but I'm in Asebu is the village area that I live in. Where we are selling our land is in a village area called Brabetsi, which means come and eat, which I love that. Yes,
That's
yes,
beautiful.
yes.
Superfood is saying, I see more raccoons, ground dogs, possums. Not gonna say the next word. And snakes right here in the Virginia
Yes,
Beach area than I care to see. She says, I'll do well in Ghana.
yes, you will. Yes, you will. So you won't
Yes.
see that much. And I just wanted to say too, just so for people
Uh-huh.
to know that Africa Bar, the name of our
Yeah, I was gonna
company,
tell you to talk about that.
it means child of Africa. And so Emmanuel is the one who came up with that name because he wanted it to feel like, you're a child of Africa and you're coming back home. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And we're gonna have you give all that information in a couple of minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to let Karen go. It's almost midnight there. Let's see. Let's see what I'll put up here. Your daughter, she put something up: cows, goats, chicken, cats, dogs. And then Janice was saying another idea, an outlet. That is so true.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
so
It's
true.
really,
So
really good.
true.
Yeah.
Your daughter said, I'll eat the fish head now. Okay, just
Oh, she does.
how did that happen?
I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm not there. Now I will get a little bit of the meat out of it, but I'm not breaking it up, picking it up and eating it now.
Okay, now my thing is trying to die. We're gonna go now in a
Yeah,
minute.
I heard that. Yeah.
You heard it? I'm like, wait,
Mhm.
I'm plugged up. What are you doing? Um, let's see. Let's read this. Ah, look who's here. Look who's here.
Hey,
Your
Steve.
nephew.
Yes, my nephew. He's so good to me.
Hi, Steve. How are you? He said the government has been able to get Toyota, Volkswagen, Nissan, and Sonitrac Hyundai assembly in the country. So the government is trying to cut back on the old
Oh,
cars.
okay. Okay,
Thank
so
you, Steve.
that makes sense.
We
That
should
makes
have
sense.
a show and say Ask Steve. That should be the name of our show,
Yes,
one of our shows.
yes,
Ask Steve, right? Then he says,
yes.
then he says, Ghana development is done by individuals, while in the States, developers build to suit. Yes, Steve.
That's so true.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Oh, and these are my friends. She is here uh, by Wonderful Time in Ghana. This is my friend Judith
Oh, okay.
that
All
I
right.
told
Hello,
you was
Judith.
here. Yeah,
Yes,
this is my friend
yes.
Judith Day. Yes, yes, yes.
And it's
She
really
said,
late where she is, right?
yeah, she's in Belgium. I think Judith moved to Belgium. Her family, they used to be in Holland, and
Mm.
then they moved to Belgium, her and her family. But I'm glad they were able to tap in and listen. So
Yes.
listen. We're gonna let Karen go. She promised. Well, she didn't really promise, but she said she would possibly come on bi-weekly where we could chat about and keep the Africa series going, to give
Yeah.
everyone the opportunity to make decisions and to reach out with a trustworthy person. That's the main thing, trustworthy, and be able to ask questions and figure out, because I'm going to figure out how to get my little plot, right, acre, whatever, right, and kind of do what I can do and just leave it to my children, see what they want to do. But I
Yeah.
think that it's a great opportunity, a great opportunity to buy something, to build something. You guys know, at one time I had six businesses under one roof. My mind is
Mhm.
always going. My daughter gets on me all the time, mom, one thing at a time. But it don't happen like that. It just doesn't happen like that. I'm just a
Yeah.
visionary. So you and I are going to talk about some things. Janice says, I am enjoying this. Let's do it again. Let's do it
Okay.
again. Yes,
All
we're going
right.
to
Let's
do it
do it.
again. Let's do it again. So listen, we're going to say goodnight. Those of you, I hope that you listen. We're trying to get to 500. I think I'm at 460 something, 70. I don't know. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that we can,
Yeah.
push further, and also hit the thumbs up button to hit the algorithm. Now, Karen in Ghana is on Ine is driving, so she can't put your link up.
Yeah.
But I want
That's
you
fine.
guys to go in the YouTube streets, and I want you to go to Karen in Ghana. Go to that channel and subscribe to her channel. And you'll be
Yes.
able to see much more than she's even talking about now, because she has
Yeah.
pictures and videos and all types of experiences when you go to her channel. But she'll be back. She'll be back here on Bravo. Steve, thank you for being here. All of you in the chat, all of you up there. Thank you so very much for being here. Jesse, thank you. Superfood Parent, thank you so much. Emmanuel, thank you. Eric Eric, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I mean, Marsha. Am I saying
Mark.
it wrong? Marsha. Okay. Thank you so much. Listen, all of you that are here, I really appreciate you stopping by. This was a special show tonight. It was Friday, and it was just for my sister Karen. Just for
Thank
my
you.
sister Karen. And what Janet says, I am with you, because she's with me. We're gonna come do something. And
All
so,
right. That sounds so good.
my dear sister, get some rest. Thank you so much. Tell your grandson
Oh.
just to him. I saw him do the moonwalk back. It's all good.
I will tell him. He's gonna be like, "Oh no, I wouldn't." I know he doesn't want to be on video, but too late.
Everyone is saying good night to you. Good
All
night.
right.
Good
Good
night.
night, everyone. Thank you
And
so much, and I will be back. I'll be
yeah,
back in a couple of weeks or so, and
yay,
we'll
yay,
do it.
yay.
And we'll talk a little bit more because we still didn't really dig into the business, but we'll talk
Yes.
more
And so
about
the
that.
next
And
one, we're going to dig. Each time we're going to go deeper and
yes,
deeper,
yes.
right? And maybe you
All
can get
right.
your partner on if you want to. And I know
Yes,
your
yes,
daughter is
that'd be great.
coming, and you and her might pop on together. Listen, let's just have a good time. We can send a link to your partner. He can pop on if he'd like.
Okay. All
And
right.
yeah, and
That'll
we
be
can
great.
just really just get into it. So I love you, sis.
Oh, I love you too, and thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you. Bless
night.
you. Good night, sweetie. Bye bye. All right, you guys, this was awesome. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful night and a wonderful chat. And I'm so excited about my relationship with Karen and all the great information she is sharing with us, how we can get land, how we can build, how we can become entrepreneurs. The question is always, what is it that you wanted to do in the States that you didn't have enough money to do in the States? But you can take that same vision, that same idea, and go to Ghana and do it. Go to Africa and do it. And so we're going to be doing some things. Thank you once again for being here, to my ride or die Ine, who's always here doing things with me and for me. I really appreciate her being here, making sure that the content and everybody that is doing well in the chat, and making sure she greets everyone. So I want to say good night to all of you, and I will see you again. Ciao. It's time for Bravo with Sheila, a place to be enlightened, a place to be built up, and always a place to remember that when nothing changes, nothing changes.